So in the book of Ezekiel, chapters 2, 3, and 33, we're told what it means to be a watchman. And Yeshua told us in Mark chapter 13, "What I say unto you, I say unto all, watch." And what that means is to warn people to repent and keep the commandments of God. And if you don't do that, then they're going to die in their sin, but their blood will be on your hands, and God's going to require it of you. So here in chapter 3, starting in verse 16, it says, "And it came to pass at the end of the 7 days that the word of Jehovah came unto me, saying, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word of my mouth, and give them warning from me. And when I say unto the wicked, Thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. Again, when a righteous man doth turn from his righteousness, and commit iniquity, and I lay a stumbling block before him, he shall die, because thou hast not given him warning. He shall die in his sin, and his righteousness, which he hath done, shall not be remembered, but his blood will I require at thine hand. Nevertheless, if thou warn the righteous man, that the righteous sin not, and he doth not sin, he shall surely live, because he is warned, also thou hast delivered thy soul." So having blood on your hands means you see people sin, but you don't warn them. So they're going to die in their sin, and they're going to suffer the consequences of that, but then so are you, because you're guilty of not warning those people. And there's a group of people who have come out of the Christian churches, understood that they're doing pagan idolatry and just committing lawlessness. They've gone into the Messianic Torah movement. They know to keep the God's commandments, but the problem is, instead of warning their Christian brothers and sisters to repent, they're going around feasting instead, feeding their own bellies, profaning God's feast in a profane land using a profane calendar, arguing over which day to do God's feast. When God told you in Hosea chapter 6 verse 6 that he desires mercy and not sacrifice, and the knowledge of God more than burnt offerings. And this mercy is given, God gives mercy to those who keep his commandments, and we show mercy to others by teaching them to keep the commandments. So here in Isaiah chapter 1, starting in verse 10, it says, "Hear the word of Jehovah, ye rulers of Sodom. Give ear unto the law of our God, ye people of Gomorrah." Now this isn't talking about literal Sodom and Gomorrah. This is a future prophecy. It's spiritual. "To what purpose is the multitude of your sacrifices unto me? Saith Jehovah, I am full of burnt offerings of rams and the fat of fed beasts. I delight not in the blood of bullocks, or the lambs, or of the he-goats. When ye come to appear before me, who hath required this at your hand, to tread my courts? Bring no more vain oblations. Incense, which is prayer, is an abomination to me. The new moons and Sabbaths, the calling of assemblies, I cannot away with. It is iniquity, even the solemn meeting. Your new moons and your appointed feasts my soul hateth. They are a trouble unto me, I am weary to bear them. And when you spread forth your hands, I will hide mine eyes from you. Yea, when you make your many prayers, I will not hear. Your hands are full of blood. Wash you, make you clean, put away the evil of your doings from before mine eyes. Cease to do evil. Learn to do well. Seek judgment. Relieve the oppressed. Judge the fatherless. Plead for the widow." And this is what Isaiah 56 has to say about these people who know that they need to warn people, but they don't. Starting in verse 9, "All ye beasts of the field, come to devour, yea, all ye beasts of the forest. His watchmen are blind, they are all ignorant, they are all dumb dogs, they cannot bark, sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber. Yea, they are greedy dogs, which can never have enough, and they are shepherds that cannot understand. They all look to their own way, every one for his gain, from his quarter." So instead of warning their neighbor to repent, which is how you love your neighbor, they stay silent. They're dumb dogs, and so they're not warning anybody, and they're feeding their own bellies, feasting. Now, opposed to these dumb dog watchmen that won't bark, God has established watchmen who are willing to do the work. And here in Isaiah 62 and verse 6, it says, "I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day or night. Ye that make mention of Jehovah, keep not silence, and give him no rest till he establish, until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth." And in Matthew 24, Yeshua warns us to watch. Starting in verse 42, it says, "Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour the Lord doth come. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched, and would not have suffered his house to be broken up. Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not the Son of Man cometh. Who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season? Blessed is that servant, whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Verily I say unto you, that he shall make him ruler over all his goods. And if that evil servant shall say in his heart, My Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin to smite his fellow servants, and to eat and drink with the drunken, the Lord of that servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him, and in an hour that he was not aware of, and shall cut him asunder, and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. So now you know that God is going to raise up watchmen in the last days to warn people day and night until tribulation comes. Tribulation is the sword that we are supposed to warn people about, and it's God's wrath is attributed to those who don't keep his commandments. So if you don't want to be those people who go into tribulation, you quickly have to start keeping the 10 commandments, including the weekly Sabbath, which is Saturday dawn to dawn, and then keep the rainbow covenant, which includes eating clean. And that's explains what animals are considered clean and unclean in Leviticus 11 and Deuteronomy 14. And if you don't warn others, that's the royal law. The royal law are the kings and queens, the 144,000 will be doing this. And if you're not doing that, then you are not attributed to that number. And you're going to be going where there's weeping and gnashing of teeth, straight into tribulation. And tribulation is right around the corner, and it's going to be worse than any other time that it's ever happened on the earth. And if you don't want to have to experience that, or you don't want your family or your friends or your co-workers to experience that, then you need to warn them day and night, whether they hear or whether they forbear.